हेलो
नहीं हो गया क्योंकि अभी तक लाइट वाला ही नहीं आया।
So I can share this. इथे recording ची आवश्यकता आहे. इथे recording
Sharing is over now. Anybody will talk.
I won't be talking. Oh, so नाही मी आधी जो ओपन केलेला आहे आता शेयर करूँ this will कोई नहीं पण ह्या लॉगिन वर नाही ह्याच्यावर त्यांचं कनेक्ट नाही होणार ना पेन ड्राईव्ह वर नाही आहे पेन ड्राईव्ह हो ते आपल्याला माझ्याकडे ह्याच्यावर Yeah, is the screen visible now? Didi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So can ask to unmute.
Yeah, you can ask.
That connection is not stable. बस डाउनलोड केलंय का आठवत नाही मला मेल
Screen can be seen.
स्क्रीनवर असलं मेलवर न बघू का स्क्रीन शेयर होता है ना ओके So should I stop sharing then? Me sharing stop करूँगा.
अभी तक यहाँ रखा गेहूं का
ये लोग फुल स्क्रीन कैसे करता है तुम? Hi. Do you think it's work with people like that? What do you think we sharing stop करें. I'll talk to you later. नहीं तो कॉफी का चल ऑफिस में. How do I get back? पंकज आप किस आणायला गेलाय. Okay. ते फक्त एकदा सांग. Okay, we are getting started now. I'll be requesting Architect Pranay to take us through his modalities, and then we'll have Advocate Page talking to us. So stop sharing. This is not good. Here, start. Stop sharing. This is not good. Here. Give me a break. Madam, share.
Yeah.
Yeah. पूर्ण नहीं है. आडवा करा बरं मोबाईल. नाही.
आलं पूर्ण आलं. पूर्ण आलंय.
वगैरह करते हैं.
Don't make it feel easy to explain. Yeah.
Can we?
Can they see now?
मेल वर पाठवतो का?
ठीक है. If you send it in a mail on the WhatsApp, you will be able to update it.
Yeah. This is good. It is green. Also the right one.
Right.
If you can sit here,
होते हुए तुम्हें करा.
अच्छा तो लैग ही थी.
So, can we get started? I request Zoom already Zoom. If you can get closer. Get in.
सर आपण 2 मिनिटं आणि वर्ड मध्ये ओपन करू.
ते पण आता हे कंप्लीट दिसतंय.
काही लोकांना Is this good? Better? Okay, let's get started. I'll request Architect Pranay to please take us through what generally the process of how they get into redevelopment. And Architect Pranay, please.
Thank you, sir.
You can sit there and so people on Zoom also can do well.
See, I would immediately come to the point. I'll start the process. I'll explain to you how I normally navigate the redevelopment process with the society. Okay, I would request you to refresh your minds. Whatever has happened till date in your society, we'll discuss about that sometime later once this presentation is complete, because I would like to know your inputs on whatever has happened right till date in your society, just to get the some more idea about why those things have actually not reached the logical conclusion. Okay, so normally when I start working with the society, I share this redevelopment status document with the committee members, The reason is this document actually enumerates the stages in which the process actually will flow. Okay, the first stage is to create a redevelopment document of the society. Okay, there are 6 to 7 stages in which this redevelopment process is completed along with the society. So first stage is to create a redevelopment document. So I need the help of the society members, like the committee members, to create this document. Number 2 is the bid stage. That is when the redevelopment document is handed over to the developers and requested for a offer. Okay, that is the bid stage. Then selection of the right developer. That is when the offers are compared on multiple parameters, like the financial offer, the planning of the developer, the design which he has given to us, then also his financial capacity at that point of time. All these things are verified, and then we, and then again, it's a democratic process. So especially when the number of members is more, that is when we have to seriously follow the democratic process, because it is bound to happen that a few of you would like to go with one developer and others would like to go with another developer. So it is obvious that it would be a majority game, and the developer who gets the most votes is going to get the project. Okay, and that is when you'll have to accept that, okay, fine, this developer's got the majority of votes, and then everybody falls in line. That is how we'll have to go ahead, because there is no other way to sort out these issues. You can raise questions, you can raise your apprehensions, and I'll assure you that all those points will be taken care of and addressed to the best of my knowledge, and try to satisfy your concerns. Okay. Then the approval of the municipal drawings. That happens when we have given a LOI to the developer, it's the letter of intent, and we have signed a MOU with him, memorandum of understanding. You must already be aware of all these terms, because you have already gone a certain distance in your earlier attempt. So once we have signed the MOU, that is when the developer will apply for sanctions from the government. He'll purchase the TDR, he'll purchase the TOD premium, because your plot lies in the TOD zone, and get the project completely sanctioned. Okay, so that is the stage where we get the approval of the final municipal drawing. This is very important, because this is approval from the government of all the proposals which we have received from the all the proposals which the developer has submitted to the government. Okay, our understanding, our acceptance of the plan, we have to just check whether what he has submitted and what he has got approved is the same that he has discussed with us. So this stage actually is important, because from this point onwards, actual construction phase can begin. Okay, so the next stage is handing over peaceful possession of the building to the bidder. So once the drawings are completely approved, that is the stage when we discuss and hand over the possession of the entire property. So once that is the drawings are approved, you'll get a certain period of time in which you have to move out. Okay, hand over the possession to the society, and the society will hand over the premises to the developer. Then there are some activities which are done during the progress of the construction. And once that is construction is complete, there are some things which we have to do at the virtual after the virtual completion is complete. Okay, that is the construction is complete, but we have to get occupancy certificate from the developer. So some general development of the properties, compound wall, parking allotments, and all those things are pending. But the main construction is ready. The flats are ready from inside. That is the stage at which we have to do certain procedures with the developer. That is mentioned in that after virtual completion point. Okay. So now I'll get into the details of each stage. The first stage, I think you have already gone through it. Yes. That is approval of the proposal of a redevelopment in the special general body meeting, and record of proceedings and all that you have already done. Formation of a redevelopment committee, which I think is in place already. The redevelopment committee shall now appoint an architect and an advocate to be part of the advisory committee. The society members can suggest eligible consultants for the same. Appointment shall be done by redevelopment committee after due diligence. Okay, because the redevelopment committee has already been conferred that right to appoint the architect, so they are well within their right to do that. Then the next point is the advocate should go through the obviously. Mrs. Sunita Pake would elaborate more on the legal points. This is one of the points which is there, so I'm just mentioning it. The advocate should go through the legal documents of the society and ensure. That means she'll go through the legal documents of each and every individual and in general of the land also. Okay. And ensure that the documents are up to date. Any shortcomings in the documents shall be complied with so as to create a document file fit to be called as a clear and marketable title. So, because this is one of the most important stages where we have to ensure and establish that the entire property is free of any loans, encumbrance, reservation from the government, or any such things which might affect the redevelopment and the offer later. Okay, so that has to be done beforehand by the society advocate. Next page. So this is one more point. This is the society shall get its accounts updated and audited. Any contribution required from the members shall be worked out and informed, collected by the society for the purpose of redevelopment. Now, this stage I think is one of the most important stages because any member who refuses to pay the contribution for redevelopment actually is refusing the redevelopment process. Okay, so it's like when everybody contributes, we can say that everybody is on board for redevelopment. So it's a financial kind of a proof that whoever is ready for redevelopment will happily pay, and whoever is not will not. So that is one stage where we have to ensure that everybody comes on board. Okay, because most of the things become very easy when the society works unanimously. Okay, if there are along with the payment. Okay, as a contribution to run this process. Okay, fine. Fine, but I'm just explaining all the stages right now. Yeah, for this to carry out this
Just
process
a token
to the society. It should be a contribution from the members to the society. It could be any amount. It could be just a token amount of 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, or maybe 5,000 rupees. Yeah, correct. Okay. And ideally, it should take care of addition, because this is a separate activity, not linked to your day-to-day expenses of the society, right? So for that, you need to contribute. Maybe you have your reserves with you through which you can do it. But then it would always be nice if you contribute for that particular cause, because then it establishes the point that everybody is on board for redevelopment. And yes, sir? Yeah.
Anybody will are able to come in or mortgage to a bank. So will that stop?
So it will not stop the redevelopment. It is very important to formulate a way, an action plan to get these things sorted. So everything needs to come out in the open, at least in front of the advocate, so that she can tell, okay, fine, say around 6 months, fine, we have to hand over the building to the developer. So by that time, you need to get it, rid of that lien or something. Or maybe you can ask. Yeah, sure.
Should I explain it as it is legal point? See, it is not said that there should not be any lien, but it should be disclosed. And when it is disclosed, in case redevelopment happens, then we will get NOC of the bank, because ultimately we have to hand over clear title property. And if there is a lien, we will get NOC from that bank for redevelopment, because that bank is supposed to be, by way of mortgage, it becomes a owner, kind of owner. So,
what if there is a litigation?
If there is a litigation, then that will be a problem. See, in one project, what happened that the flat become, the property become NPA, that loan become NPA. Then the member disclosed that I don't have any loan, there are no encumbrances. So he signed that letter. And later on, when the property was demolished and the plan was sanctioned and TDR plan was supposed to be sanctioned. At that time, the bank went to PNC and filed a complaint. Then redevelopment plan could not get sanctioned. So at that time, then developer has to repay the loan. Then again, it will become the reason for delay. So it should not become reason for delay. So the true disclosure is necessary so that we can take appropriate NOC from the concerned bank. If we are
What
aware of
happens
that.
if the litigation?
Like succession, that is another litigation that can happen.
Yeah.
Somebody is
Correct.
and, the family is,
That's why the due diligence beforehand, so that we can at least understand.
But what happens in a case if there's a litigation between two brothers? Okay, it's come from the father. So what happens in that case?
That's why the due diligence, so that we can at least get ensured about our title before submitting our property for redevelopment in the market. That's why this has to be done. Correct. This has to be done prior to selection of builder. That is what I said to Mr. Apte.
Moving on. That is the thing. It needs to be done
Beforehand. We should ensure about our title first. We should take a stock of our litigation, our encumbrances and our differences, and then we should submit our property for redevelopment in the market.
Next question is, his question was where there is a litigation or a bank loan on a particular flat. You have answered that question. In our cases, where the document, the title of the final flat owner, whether it is proper or no, that also you need to.
Yeah.
She will be.
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing it. I had submitted a part report.
Because that is the thing which, what in my mind should be done before you go to the builder, and then if there is still some discrepancy, you have to tell the builder, hey, this is it. Now you want the development, you solve it.
Absolutely, because on the tender
So
document
actually I differ on this
He
point.
can easily solve
I don't want the developer to solve anything for the society. It is the society and the members' job to sort out things for themselves. It is not the developer's job. Please try to understand that. The reason I'm saying this is every single problem of yours which you are going to ask him to solve is going to, he'll have to pay a price for that.
Also would like to see that litigation.
Exactly, and that is how you ensure a best offer from him.
Since you have raised this issue, I just want to point out one big thing, which a diligence which we need to do about your property, the property of the society, not the member. So the name of the society is still not inducted on property card. So actually it's getting very cold. So yeah, it's really impossible to sit here. Maybe. Okay, now I'm visible here. So we are talking about the property card. See, I had gone through the various files he has showed to me. So I had seen that there is a lot of correspondence made by earlier office bearers to the city survey officer. City survey officer has demanded a copy of gift deed and so on. And that copy was also submitted to him, but still the name of the society is not inducted on property card. So while doing development agreement, there are three things which are of utmost importance. One is demarcation, zoning demarcation, then property register card. So property registered card is not there. So we have to strive for that, because that is of utmost importance. Without that property registered card, development is not going to happen. Redevelopment is not going to happen, because no agreement will be executed unless property register card is there. So,
you are saying that your experience, that all the likely ones that is going to come out of that, then you put it out to
yeah. See what happened at time that Marizban Kotawala, the property was given to two brothers by mother. And the property which was given to, they have created a family trust kind. So that trust was created for the interest of Marizban Kotawala. However, name of Marizban Kotawala is not written anywhere on property card extract, and instead name of trustees appeared in the property card. And so when Marizban Kotawala,
because he had the lifetime interest. He didn't have an interest.
But still.
He had a lifetime interest, and that's why his name was not there in the trust.
Correct. His name should not be as if.
They are the descendants of the family. So they are the
still they have lifetime interest. Absolutely. Still, they have to mention in the property card that he is having lifetime interest. Ultimately, we have to establish the chain.
But you have to bring it on record.
Yeah, we have to bring it on record. So what happened that since name of Marizban Kotawala was not there on the property card extract, then after that he gifted in favor of his family members. Then how to establish chain? Because name of trustees was there and gifted of Marizban Kotawala was there. And those legal heirs executed sell deed or conveyance deed in favor of Devi Chambers Cooperative Society.
Correct.
So, name of trustees were there on the property card extract, and most of the explanation which is sought from city survey officer is owners are different on property card extract, but these owners are trustees for Kotawala family. So that is not established from the entries of property card extract, and that's why the name of Devi Chambers is not included on. Not inducted on property card.
So that needs to be
done. That is of prime importance. So we have to do that.
Can go on along with the process of doing for redevelopment, but you can't sign an MOU. I would say.
Absolutely. So that should be given prime importance, and it should be sorted out. So it should be sorted out. We have to do. We are actually doing it now. We are doing it. We have established the link, and now we are doing it. So we are getting certified copies of all the documents, and we'll be submitting the application in next 15 days. So that will fall in place now.
That is well understood.
No, not really. Not now. This is not the stage, because the developer will do it. Before
that is a different public.
That is different public notice, but for this we need not put the public notice, because our property is not into litigation. See, it is not that because our name is not inducted on property card extract, this is illegal. This is just, there are certain irregularities which we need to regularize. So these are technical.
So later on the builder does not hold you to ransom.
Yeah, because finally the builder has to hand over the flats to new members, and those members might take a loan, and the banks might go into a search. So all these things have to be clear.
And without property card, actually plan will not get sanctioned. So that is the first thing, and even development agreement will not get executed. See, even builder can say that I will do it, but he will take his own sweet time, and he will definitely say this is because of you. So delay is always attributed to you and not to. So he.
No, but that is well understood, and that should. But I keep on being at the point of being monotonous. I mean, before any committee member puts a signature to the builder, this has to be done.
Correct. So better we should do it. Instead of asking builder to get it done, we should do it, because it's our responsibility.
This part I am not asking the builder to get it.
Correct.
There is the other part where each and every 48 members' documents are properly stamped or no. The stamp duty is paid or no. That due diligence also has to be done.
Correct.
Which is, see, this thing has, the whole committees have been taking care of all this. This has been going on. It's not like it's not. A lot of diligence, due diligence is done, but still the answers are not there.
Correct.
What I was trying to say when he said you should not give to the builder, you bring it to, let us say, 90%. That 10% remains, you tell the builder, look, you want to do redevelopment, this 10% you have to take care of. We are not liable. Otherwise, forget to come for redevelopment. Then the builder accepts.
Yeah, we should come clean.
To the builder, you tell him कि 90% हमने किया, अभी this 10%. He will find a way better than you. Because if I start finding the way, the individual member has to shut out, and no member will shut out. I'm telling you.
See, when we prepare a title,
I'm saying that there are 48 flats, 2 or 3 flats, there is no stamp duty paid. You tell the member, okay, this is your headache, you pay. Member says, I don't have money. This is not correct. I don't need to do it. How do you sort that out?
okay. So when conveyance is done, maximum stamp duty liability is almost over, because when conveyance is done, that is the final document, which is executed after payment of stamp duty by all the members. So I don't think there will be problem regarding stamp duty.
Title of the property you explained, that needs to come. Conveyance is done, stamp duty is paid, conveyance deed is there. That's not my worry. Many of the members initially say,
I understood, because see,
many of the members have got
not
original sale agreements around 10 rupees or 5 rupees stamp duty.
Correct. So even
and
if
some of those members still hold those flats.
Correct. I know. See, I have prepared a report and I have submitted a report, partial report, because you submitted me part documents. So I have, that is in progress. So we are informing people about the irregularities. I cannot say illegality, irregularities or deficit stamp duties about their respective flats. See, what happened that some of people may not have the original document, and that is lying with the photos info. So we can get it done. And we can get it completed from the photos Inco Plus. So that can be taken care of. As far as deficit stamp duty is concerned, now the amnesty scheme is there. So we can take advantage of that amnesty. Just they have declared the amnesty scheme. So let's see. Even I will come to know about the amnesty scheme. So we can take advantage of that scheme as well. So let's see. Because the title documents are under scrutiny, and we will get the report and we will get the facts straight. Maybe in next 15 days or a couple of weeks.
That's one more question.
Yeah.
In case of multiple sale of a certain brand, maybe initial stages, the stamp duty was not paid and this agreement was on a 10 rupees stamp duty. Then the next person came and he got the deed of assignment and paid the stamp duty. Does the stamp office still have a claim on that original?
No. See, you are doing it, you are doing a redevelopment. You are not selling the property.
No. You are not.
Yeah, I understood. See, you are doing.
I'm not talking on the basis of read. I'm just talking on the basis of a fact whether my
I understood.
To the fact.
Yeah, that is
because if the person who bought the flat, who I am buying from, had not paid stamp duty, when I go to register my deed of assignment, at that time his deficit I have to pay. Otherwise, my deed of assignment will not be taken by the
correct. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I understood what you want to convey.
The very fact that the registrar has accepted my deed of assignment means all past anomalies are finished or no.
That was not the case earlier. Ki past anomalies are finished. See, if the scrutiny is done, and again, if the dues of stamp duty of earlier purchaser are raised by the concerned JDR, Joint District Registrar, then that dues the subsequent buyer has to pay, because he has purchased a flat along with the liabilities. So he has to pay. But now, as far as redevelopment is concerned, see, you are not selling the flat. So you are just developing it. So the final buyer has paid the stamp duty or not, that is enough for redevelopment. As far as redevelopment is concerned, you did not go back and trace the stamp duty deficit of the original buyer. See, because only the original buyer has not paid the stamp duty. Because at that time, agreement to sell was done on 10 rupees stamp paper, and stamp duty was paid in during conveyance.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
that was the procedure at relevant time.
There will be some members who are holding that original.
Correct.
So
holding that 10 rupees stamp paper.
Happens, the builder doesn't hold you to ransom. इसका तो stamp duty deficit है. All that has to be finished.
हाँ, उसका stamp duty deficit है ऐसे बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन what happens that while doing redevelopment agreement and supplementary agreement with the developer in respect of new flats, they just ask for the index 2. So even if it is 10 rupees stamp paper and if it is registered, then you have that index 2 of the earlier document. If that is not registered, then that will be a problem. We can find out the solution.
Right.
We can find out the solution.
Is there difference in the conveyance deed? I suppose
correct. If it is reflected in the conveyance deed and deficit stamp is paid at the time of conveyance, then that is okay.
That time, the conveyance, the stamp duty is definitely paid on the value of land.
That is what I feel.
But the agreement is land and
flat.
building.
Yeah, correct.
So
it is flat.
There is one line of thinking somebody can, some legal man take it. What about the stamp duty on the construction? That is not paid and that's a division.
See, if the, now we are preparing the report. So we will, actually we will get clarity about the discrepancies when the final report is prepared. Then again we have to.
Telling from day one, this is nothing new from that. All this before any committee member puts any sign to any builder, this has to be.
Absolutely. That is what we have initiated.
That's what I'm trying.
We are in the process.
Decided to do it again from the members who have not paid their sign. From them that this has to be rectified and done. So that we have been doing also.
Yeah, we need to discuss this issue once the report is ready.
Exactly.
And then we can have a meeting in parts, like 20, small group of members, so that their problems can be addressed and solution can be arrived at. So we can have a meeting of small groups and the solution can be arrived at.
Yeah.
Some way has to be formed.
You will need chain of agreements.
Yeah, I will need it. Yeah.
Right from the
Absolutely. Chain of agreements. I will need. So this is how we are going forward. First, we are scrutinizing legal documents of the society as well as individual members. And then we can say that, and we will get a consent letters from all the members, kind of declaration that there is no lien, or if there is a lien, with which bank, and undertaking that we will obtain the required NOC for redevelopment from that bank. And during the course of redevelopment, we will not sell the flat or rent it out without reference to the society. So even if we rent out the flat or if we sell the flat, we will get the counter NOC from the purchaser that I'm ready and willing to participate with the redevelopment. So that redevelopment procedure will not get stalled because of non-cooperation of new purchaser or tenant. And as far as giving the property on tenancy, prior permission of society is not required, but still during redevelopment we should do it, because in Kothurud area, what happened that some builders just bought the flats or took it on rent, and now they are saying that we are not going to vacate the flat. It's either we or no one else. So that should not happen. And that's why this NOC is required.
We should say builders, certain builders are tenants in the society.
They created a right after the process was started, and then they entered the society as a member. And then as a member, they started dictating terms saying that the redevelopment will happen only if the product is given to us. Otherwise, we are going to refuse. Okay, so that should not happen. Actually, it's a very simple way to do it.
See, if I'm a builder, I can buy one flat at slightly higher rate.
And I don't think our committee knows there's no builder like that in our.
You never know. You never know. It will come on the surface at final stage.
These committees have been, the last 8 to 10 years, they've been no question of. Anyway,
so, yeah, now we can go ahead. Since it was a legal query, I just interrupted.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We are going to have a small session with Parliament immediately after my you can call it as a presentation is complete. Okay, once that is done, we'll again have a.
That's the question. Yes.
Okay, now the next stage is the point number 7, where the society architect shall take actual measurements of the existing tenements. Nowadays, the area is worked out as per the definition of carpet area mentioned in the Real Estate Act. So we have to work out the area as per the Real Estate Act. Okay, the RERA carpet area has to be worked out. So that is what we do. We take actual measurements, we compare that with the areas mentioned in the municipal drawing, and then those areas are converted into RERA carpet areas because the new agreements are going to take place based on the RERA carpets. Okay, so we have a question here. What is the RERA carpet include? That includes all the internal walls.
All internal walls.
Includes the area under all internal walls also.
Except the external, not the external.
External walls are not.
And balconies also.
Yeah, balcony, terrace, everything. That is part of the carpet.
So even
it has to be just separately mentioned.
No, that is the external wall. Balcony wall is external.
Yeah.
What about the common area?
Which common area are you talking about?
Like the past,
No, that's not part of the plan. Okay. So once that is done, the statement of those areas is then submitted to all the individual society members, and which they have to countersign and submit it to the society. Because at this point, once all the consumed area is clear, a feasibility report can be made. Because that is one of the most important requirements for the feasibility report. Okay. The architect shall highlight illegal work if done any by the society and ensure that no such illegal construction is accounted for in the area table. Okay, this again is a very important point because some people have terraces, they construct a room in that terrace which is illegal, and then they insist that this area should be counted in my legal area. So that should not happen. I'm not aware of whether this kind of situation is there in the society, but then it's happened in a lot of cases. Now the architect shall work out a feasibility report explaining and enumerating the area FSI calculations, financial calculations based on specifications assumed, and this feasibility report is then submitted to the society and discussed with all the members. Okay, because this feasibility is going to give you a general idea of what kind of an offer we can expect from the developer. Okay, the architect's feasibility report and once the feasibility report is accepted, we come to a point where now we start an internal discussion about what kind of expectations you have from the new project, okay, from the developer, and what is your wish list for the new development. Okay, so each and every member has to then submit his expectations, which could be, for an example, it could be that right now I've got only one flat, and now I know that I'm going to get around 50% more. I would like to split the total area into 2 flats so that I can give it to my 2 sons. Okay, this could be one of your wish lists. So, because all these things need to reflect in the plan also. And the architect who's going to work on that needs to know this. What is the requirement list of the members as far as the planning is concerned? So there will be 2 kinds of requirement list. One of the society members and one of the developer who is going to sell it. And the architect will have to combine it together and then design the building. That's why it's very important to make a wish list, submit it to the committee. And it's the developer's job to at least meet 90% of the points mentioned in the wish list. Okay. A complete. Oh, complicated. Absolutely. Yeah, most of the points in the wish list are same. There are very few points which are unique to that particular member. and actually it simplifies the things. It's like it creates a chaos in the beginning, and then the order starts, coming into place. So it is very important to have a wish list, because that is, through the wish list, we are trying to ensure that each and every member is getting heard. Okay, that is also very important in the development. They need to have their opinions voiced, heard, and understood. So that happens through the wish list. Okay, the architects.
That helps in not adding escalation.
Exactly, and it will actually reduce the time required for planning also. Okay. The architect's feasibility report and the society members' wish list shall be approved by the members in a special meeting after detailed discussions and clarifications, because there could be some points which that particular member would like to discuss with all other members also. Some points which are related to the related as common requirement for the society. Okay, so we need to discuss these points in a common meeting. The coordination committee shall submit the approved wish list to the architect to enable him to modify or upgrade the feasibility report accordingly. It's possible that because of certain requirements of the society, the feasibility report might change. The net sum which is mentioned at the end of the feasibility report could change because the assumption has changed. Like if I'm in my feasibility report, if I have not considered photovoltaic cells, electrical charging cells at the top of the terrace, and all of you want that to be a common specification in the new building, I have to account for that in the feasibility report and give you an upgraded revised feasibility report for you to know what you're going to expect from the developer. Okay, the next point is, so anything I've missed? It's a standard point. It is given to understand that the points in the wish list may or may not be completely accepted and implemented by the selected developer, but an attempt for the same should be made by the coordination committee. Okay, it's possible that not all the points can be used.
This coordination committee is different from the redevelopment committee.
It's the same. It's the same.
The same.
Yeah. So I've named it as a redevelopment coordination committee. I have named it as redevelopment coordination committee because they have to coordinate between a lot of different agencies. Okay. Next page. Okay, thank you. Now, we create a master file containing the following documents, which then that file is then shown to all the society members, and then if multiple copies are made and handed over to the developers. Okay, the file should include the society resolution for redevelopment, area chart of the existing tenements and individual names, approved copy of the municipal drawing of the existing building, occupancy certificate of the existing building, list of expected specifications, wish list of the society members, a declaration from the society about its ownership and the title of the society, a covering letter inviting builders, developers to participate in the bidding process. A list of information required by the society from the builder regarding the proposal can also be attached along with. So this is about the constitution of the company of the developer and all those informations. We can see that information in the file itself. The letter shall instruct the builders to offer proposals based on a proposed plan. The proposed design in this case is the effort and copyright of the developer. Alternatively, as a prudent practice, the society architect shall prepare a design that is acceptable to all members of the society, taking into consideration every member's expectations. This plan can be then submitted to all bidding developers on the basis of which the quotes can be involved. Now, this point is not going to be applicable for our society, because this is how I have operated for in the last 15 projects, where the designing for the society was done by me in my office that design was attached into the tender document. Okay. And thankfully, all the participating developers accepted the design as it is, and the buildings are getting constructed based on that design. But our project is situated at a very good location. It's a prime location. There is a possibility that this could be a landmark project in Pune. So I would like, to have a design competition between the developers. Okay, and we deserve it because of the location. So that's why in my office is not going to participate in that design process. I'm just going to see whether your wish list is getting met. And I'm just going to check how the developer and his architect is tackling this as a design project. So this point is not applicable in our society. But once the next step is.
But if you don't make this kind of work and what the society members want, how can the developers, architect work understand?
See, my visit, we are going to give him the wish list.
So wish list is going to be
that wish list is going to be shared with the developer.
You're going to only give him the wish list, and if he's not able to satisfy the wish list, then where are you? But if you are preparing this, of course, this is an additional cost to the society to make those plans as per the vision. Then doesn't that become easier for the bidder?
So that's what he's saying. That
yeah, it really does.
He has done that.
It really does become very easy for the developers because then they know how much they are going to get to sell. Normally, when there is
okay, I think I am getting what you are saying. So we have a standard certain thing which is made common amongst all the redevelopment committee. The way flats will be of this size. You can't have for certain members one size flat and certain. It has to be for
a standard building. Yeah, that is true.
Here,
you can have a combination of tenement size, like a 3 BHK and a 4 BHK constructed on the grid. But you cannot have a 2 BHK or maybe two sizes for a 2 BHK flat or a 3 BHK flat, which one could be around 1600 square foot, the other could be around 1800 square foot. But it will have to be standard throughout.
After this wish list is on, some preliminary design will be required by the feasibility of the wish list.
So that is done, not for the feasibility of the wish list, but when I'm working on the feasibility report, I do analysis of each floor, okay, just to check what is the total consumption of the building, what is the total FSI we can consume in the building, whether our plot can take all the potential FSI that is due to us. So that working is not very
how much is the total in our plot?
This is on a 36 meter road, right? And in TOD zone. So it should be 4. But we have to follow certain rules which are mentioned in the development control book, specifically for the metro zone. So there is a limitation to the tenement size and all. Those rules will have to follow. Right.
Suppose if, let's say,
sorry?
Suppose if the 2-bedroom gets by virtue of development, he gets 3 bedroom, and that member would like 3.5 bedroom.
So that is what you have to write in the wish list.
That precisely is what your wish list is on.
Because you said it has to be a standard one. I also what he says was coming. Can be accommodated.
As far as
so I think it's possible. I think it's possible, and there is one very important point. Every tenement is eventually someday going to be sold again. Okay, so we also have to keep that in mind. That tenement should be designed in such a way that it is sellable, marketable at any point of time. So you cannot have one single flat which is designed separately and then try it and sell it into the market, because then the customer, you'll have a niche customer for that. Somebody who is, shares the requirement with you, which is very difficult. That is one thing which, we have. That is the reason why we discuss the wish list together in a meeting.
you create the competition developers on the line and move over to select the e-commerce shop or e-commerce shops.
Yeah. No, we cannot do that. Sorry, I have already mentioned that you have to bear in mind that that design is the property of the developer. You cannot give it to the other developer. That is a malpractice, and we are not going to do it.
Can we have the minimum standard requirement when you are going to?
Yeah, that we are going to do.
Well, otherwise, then if we don't every some builder will say commercial, then residential.
That is in our case, since you guys are ready to exploit your plot commercially also. Retaining the residential part with you and allowing the developer to utilize the commercial potential. We need to guide the developer saying we want 20% to be used as commercial, 40% to be used as commercial. That will definitely help. Obviously. To compare the developers on one single criteria. Okay. No, definitely the same plan which will be obvious. That point
doesn't make sense. If you give solos as one,
that is a breach of trust in that.
So, yeah. In terms of protocol.
So before submitting the drawings for approval, everybody will know which flat, including the number of the flat, the floor, the area, parking allocation, everything will be clear to the individual member before the plan is submitted.
But what about the builder submitting his sale element plan? That also he will share with us or no?
So it's the same building, right? It is the same building. The flats are going to be in the same building.
No. So when he's talking about the commercial part.
Commercial commercial listing. So the entire plan he will have to share. So what I'm trying to say is that there could be a builder who would say, okay, society वाले के लिए ये flats, हम super flats बनाएंगे. So on that, the society should have the option to say, you can make or you can't make.
No, sir.
So before we select the bidder, we should understand what you are saying is that when you take the bids from the bidders, definitely some kind of a plan of what he is going to do, which is not sacrosanct, but which can only be changed to a certain extent, will be allowed by the society.
So when we are going to compare the designs between the 4 or 5 developers who would approach us, there would be one point that will tell us the total sellability of the project, like the total sellability of the project. That is, how much square feet of area he is going to construct. Okay, that figure all the developers will be almost same. Okay, if the design is on the similar lines. Okay, so that would be our main criteria, because only then we'll come to know how many total flats are going to happen constructed on that area and what the developer is going to sell, because it's a possibility that some of you could buy additional element also, right? So the developer will have to disclose all the plans to the society.
That's what I'm trying to write. Yeah. Having done that, and now A, B, C, D, 4 have disclosed the plans, and the architect and the development committee tells the members, this fellow's plan is the best. Go for it. Is he allowed to change that plan as far as his commercial sale is concerned or no?
See, now,
and does he require the general body or the redevelopment committee?
So I think your question has 2 parts to that. The first part is, does the developer has the right to change the design for the sale component after it is after the approval of the society members? Okay. if there are some areas which the society is not interested in, like a commercial building, and nobody is interested in buying any commercial property, and the developer decides to change the design, not the total area. Okay, even in the new design, if in the earlier design the commercial sale component is 1 lakh square feet, in the new design also it has to be same, because only then it will be clear that he has not taken out some area from the residential area and included as a commercial park. So that will have to be retained. That proportion will have to be retained by the developer. Secondly, once the entire grid is accepted, there is very small amount of changes that can be made. Okay,
That's what I'm trying to drive, right?
which I think we should allow the developer to do.
You have to avoid factors. At the same time, we cannot make radical change.
No radical changes.
One more, it won't be physically possible for the developer to make radical changes. And internally, he can do whatever changes he wishes. Normally speaking, under the space wise, he cannot do changes.
In this respect, I would like to say something like what's happened to Devi just now for our plan. If the design, the commercial spelling, he shows that there is a wall facing the residential part. And the actual execution, there's toilets facing our flats.
No, that won't happen because we'll be sharing the plans with us. Whoever comes in.
That claim we can't do once the plans are.
Definitely.
For that also we have created certain barriers in our legal terms. We will always say that we will not vacate the flats unless the full potential plan is sanctioned. So we will not vacate the flat unless full potential plan is sanctioned. So there will not be any surprise. There will not be any surprises for us that after we vacating the flat, the plan is changed.
No, that experience I fully share. One of the redevelopments is that the existing owners, flats which are sold like outside. That was of a different standing between and
So this becomes no, see, there can be two things. Either that or we decide that these are the amenities that we want. Now, what he does, if he wants to put gold, someone else wants to listen. If we decide that these are the amenities that are going to be incorporated in the flats that are given to us, we have to be happy with that. Now, if someone who is buying from outside wants to put a gold basin, so we
add-on he does.
So that's where difference
As
can
a
come.
builder, is he within his right to be prejudiced about what he's going to mark?
Yes.
In which case, no. In which case, the consequences are that the existing members, at the time when they want to resell it, the value for that property is less than the value for the property difference is more.
This can happen only inside the flat, not outside.
Lower selection option is available.
If there is a solution to this problem. Number one is we dictate the specifications for our flats. Okay, and we have to ensure that specifications are very as good as available for any other project in the vicinity of our. Okay. So there will be very little scope for the developer to change this. That is one. Number two is the society needs to have the freedom. All the members need to have a freedom to select their flats throughout the building. Okay, the builder should not insist that the society should occupy only the lower floors and I'm going to sell the upper floors. So everybody should have a freedom. All the members to choose. Okay.
But I don't care the builder knows which flat he's going to get. Other than those flats, he can do
He's going to sell. Yeah. He's going to sell.
He can remove the way he wants it. Only whatever wishes somebody will get.
This can be one way of getting this issue solved.
Because I heard about the reclamation sharing.
Look, if you see otherwise, once we are getting what we have opted for, now what he does for others shouldn't be our. In
solution is that we choose the part that we want. So everything will be.
See, that because now I think that will depend on the developers' plan. Because you can say that this is what I get. But this will be part of negotiations.
This seems to be particular area. Because I heard about this.
Right. Yeah, I guess, sir, please.
Okay, now I think.
We can have the questions. I mean, along the way, of course, we can, but.
The idea for today actually is to show you how Pranay handles.
Yes.
That is the
idea. We can always, in our wishes, specify whatever we wish.
Now, the point number 4, I think, is very important. It is addressing a lot of concerns in everybody's mind.
Slightly low.
The proposals, once the proposals are received, the redevelopment committee shall evaluate the proposals on set parameters. Okay. Around 2 or 3 builders shall be selected for the next stage of bidding. The redevelopment committee shall present their findings in the society meeting and inform the names of builders selected for stage 2. The builders which do not qualify for stage 2 shall also be informed and shown by the builder starts. The redevelopment committee shall suggest changes, modifications, etc. Modifications, etc. to the builder on the plan with help from the architect. The redevelopment committee can discuss about other points of the builder's proposal, seek clarifications from them if required in the same meeting. Upon one-to-one meeting which we are going to have with the developer, that is when we are going to individually discuss the developer's plan with the developer and seek some changes in the plans which we have discussed together in our meeting. Okay, and we can get a revised presentation now that we are in the stage 2. The developers know that the pool has reduced. There are only 2 or 3 developers now, and revised designs have been sought from them. So at this stage, the builders can make those changes, and then they can choose not to submit their plans to the society members. They would just give a presentation to the society, because then there are chances that that when you mentioned that point, that people can copy the plan and say that we have liked this plan and we would like this developer to construct the building based on these plans, because that actually is not the way to do it. So we'll have to keep on discussing with the developers and try and bring the plan at a level which is acceptable to us. Okay. Because at this point of time, we get to interact with the developer and know him personally. And we start making, forming our judgments or opinions about the developer. And in mind, most of the members have already decided who is going to vote for. Okay, that is this stage. And then we move on to the selection of the right bidder. I think I will explain this point to you now. I will stop my presentation over because right now I've already explained all those 11 points which need to be followed in the process till the stage of selecting the developer. Let's reach that stage. Before that, we can again discuss about the next stages. So after evaluation of the plans and detailed charts submitted by the builders and due negotiations on different aspects of the proposal, the redevelopment committee shall call for a meeting to inform about the final choice of the builder. Now, in our case, since the number of members are more, we are going to have a voting round. Okay, between 2 or 3 developers. And the developer who secures the maximum number of votes is going to, take the profit. That is what we are going to do.
Yeah, normally it would be two, normally speaking. And would you make out a list of things that each member can give a number, criteria wise? We make it while we discuss. I mean, see the presentations from the.
See that actually has to be done by the coordination committee. Creating a list of developers, out of which my developer has been as the first, either selected as the second choice. We create a rating scheme which actually is already in place. I will give you information about that. We as a coordination committee cannot insist to go ahead democratically. We ensure that it helps you guys to take the decision.
This is coming because we are getting forced.
Okay, so that was the exercise. Till you select the things and
Yeah. Welcome.
Till the end.
Till the that's the antidote.
Yes.
That is if we want to. That is if we choose to.
I would love to attend a party after getting moving into the new world. And by the way, we are also doing interior design. So maybe I would be associated with a lot of members.
Can we invite Bhagya ma'am to say a few words of previous?
I was very much there during discussion. So I think if you have any questions, you can ask.
So I have a question. Yeah, now like how he said that individual members will have to vote which developer they like and what developer they want to go at.
Yeah.
So if there are a number of developers, okay, then we need to see the projects of the developer.
That would have been done much before.
When you doing a presentation, this is not going to happen overnight. We definitely are going to get informed that these are the two we are submitting on.
One question: why shortlist 2? Why not shortlist 3?
Why not 10?
No. Anything.
See, let me check. The redevelopment committee will be looking into all the proposals that come. But we're looking into all the proposals, and out of those, 2 will be shortlisted for getting for the general board. That is the idea. Okay, so now you can know.
The question I'm trying
See,
to
the thing
say
is,
why stick to a figure of 2?
Yeah, I will
agree with you. Okay, not 9 because
exactly. How much time do you want everyone to see? What will happen is the time that we have spent today in this meeting is going to be about, it is going to be more or less this or more for one development. Right? So, I mean, if the people are willing, we can have all the developers who are.
it doesn't just question in my mind that.
It's just a matter of shortlisting.
It's a matter of
Only shortlisting.
I mean,
If we have 7 developers,
what are we doing? Let's have it together and ask all the developers that can come in.
That will depend on the quality of presentation we receive from the developers.
That's what I generally do.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If we find that 3 are good or 4 are good,
exactly.
That's all that I'm asking.
So that precisely was the solution that I mentioned on the beginning when we had these 2 were to be selected. I said, no, let us add them 2 more. so that this problem is yeah, and he's suggesting what I saw that
divided 4 and
if you have 4, in 4.
That is one thing which is good. We'll have to seriously accept, because the quantum of our project is quite big. Okay, and we need to have a developer who has the vision to develop this project. That is very important. And we might end up, working with a developer who is a multi-city operator, or somebody who's got good projects in Delhi, good projects in Ahmedabad. So Calcutta, whatever, metro cities basically. So personally, I feel we might land up in a situation where we will select only 2 developers, and the total number of competing developers could not be more than 5 or 6. It's a possibility, because from what I see, this project would require a funding of around 180 to 200 crores. So we need to have a developer who has the capacity to manage such a big project and complete it within that period of time.
very realization.
No. Cost
of the investment.
Cost of the project is 150 crores, and we are getting a project of only 20 crores. That means if
so that is a point which I think I will discuss later. Okay, we'll definitely discuss that, but we'll come to that once we are in. Okay, we'll definitely discuss that.
He doesn't know whether he is in or not.
No, but that is the basic criteria which are going.
Yeah, but right now, what we are trying to decide is we take this architect or not.
Because that is one point which also I would like to, put more light on. So we'll definitely get to that.
So I just want to find out how much time should we allot to the society of these members, or even to the society members to get their paperwork sorted, and what time frame are we looking at for the internal discrepancies to be solved, and what amount of time it will take to approach the builder, get his bidding, and what is the time frame? Because these are 2 different activities. We're talking about internal
They could go on simultaneously.
They could be going ahead simultaneously. And if there is,
we obviously need to have a time frame for that.
Yes.
But that will depend on individual members. Some members could be very enthusiastic, nothing to hide, and immediately hand over the documents. Some member could have some internal issues. They could, go and meet the advocate and then hand over the documents. So that actually will depend on all individual members. But I think 2 months could be
all the documents are that exercise is done.
No. There are a few members who still don't have the documents.
Around 2 months should be a fair time.
well, a cut-off line should be given to everybody that by this at least if we
But there always will be some backbenchers in
Ma'am, what
society.
happens that we definitely give a cutoff date, but if the person doesn't comply,
Okay,
what do
and then
you do?
and then
What do you do?
no,
No,
but,
see, we have to look at this process.
but how much percentage are we looking at? How many percentage of members are we looking at who are officially with the plan? And what is how much?
100%.
We have 100% on board.
We would like to have.
See, the legalities of things, they have to be 100%.
Absolutely.
Right? It cannot be that 99% of the people are okay and 1%, because then the document doesn't get through. It is a matter of legality, right? So document wise, it has to be 100% clear. Now, as per
Like Mr. Kota, I have seen there is an issue with the society plans of paperwork. So that time frame is how much are you looking at?
that, I don't suppose 2 months would be good enough.
Yeah, maximum 6 months.
6 months.
Maximum.
6 months. 6 months.
See why? Because the to sort out the property card issue and 3 to 6 months.
Simultaneously, or would
That owner and property.
That will be the lawyer's job and this will be the architect's job.
After the matter was sorted out, legal matter was sorted out, which we are saying outer limit is 6 months, let's say by December. So
yeah, that is outer limit. 6 months is outer limit.
Let's say December, then how much time more by the time we vacate the flat approximately?
Vacating the flat. See,
Another 9 months. After selection of the developer.
9 months. So that means by end of next year we should be fully out.
if it goes smoothly.
No, I guess till mid next year, a year from now, if both the processes go together, then we simultaneously will be working towards getting the options from the developers and getting their offers. Maybe doing the selection in the interim, I feel we also inform the developer that these are the things on the legal front that are being worked upon. So we'll keep updating you. And as Architect Pranay told us that, or someone suggested that Mr. Kerala suggested, is that these are the 90% things that are done and 10% are remaining, but we have the way forward of going of doing it. These are the solutions to that. And would you like to take care of it? And what would be, it can be a way of doing business.
So we can take a figure somewhere around.
But generally speaking, this whole thing can go
now about 14 months.
Yes.
Okay,
When do we how many years old are the paperwork was like really old or
Yeah, most of the projects were 30 years old, or more than that.
30 and
More than that.
more than
Only one project which is 25 years old, but all families, they have grown and the requirements have changed, and that's why they are getting into redevelopment. But all, out of 15 projects, there's only one project which is 25 years old. All other projects are more than 20 years.
and there are societies or individual houses.
Societies, obviously. And we are not talking about individual houses at all. Societies. Yeah.
So what happens if there is like if they're not unanimous?
Then we follow the democratic way. First past the post, and then we are post. The developer who gets the maximum number of votes, he'll take the project. That's the reality of this.
So, friends, we can discuss that. I would request they would like to leave, so let them have lunch. And we have discussed all these things with her. So now it is for us to take a call on whatever. Yeah. And how to word that resolution, ma'am, maybe you can subsequently tell us, right? But we'll resolve it in our name language, and maybe subsequently you can take it up in the legal language. So before that, or can we do yours?
I spoke to the chairman yesterday, and we've been speaking to him to please attend this meeting. But he has steadfastly refused. He didn't want to come here. But he said that whatever the decision is taken, he is in agreement with that. So I'm making it officially. I'm saying that officially. We have said this, and subsequently, whatever decisions are taken, probably he would be acceptable, agreeable to it. If not, then we'll all need to think about it. And another issue is that we were sent a letter from Mr. Nodia for documents of the last 5 years, again, all the meetings, all the minutes of all the meetings for last 5 years. It was a very unusual request, and it came at a time when all this was happening. And so we wondered and pondered over it as to what can be the purpose, why he wants that, and how it could be detrimental to the interest of all of us. So we thought about it, and we thought we'll discuss it. And finally, in the meantime, just a few days back, he said that
he is withdrawing the application or request for the last 5 years of minutes of the last AGMs, all the SGM, anything, last 5 years, minutes of the managing committee meeting also. Because we did not want to give the book, if something, if gets lost, then we've lost all the information. So we did not give the book, we delayed it purposely for this reason. And we could not be placed in front of all of you, and we could all take a collective decision.
So I guess sanity prevailed ultimately. So let us thank Agri, Pranay, and Sunita ma'am for taking the time out and you would like them to join us for lunch and maybe do your lunch, but we can excuse them because they have another meeting to head to.
But we'll come back after lunch.
Yeah.
All of us will come back here after lunch.
We'll inform you after we have had the discussion. See if they have.
So they all also want to join after lunch. So you have to tell them 1 hour break, half an hour break.
Half an hour should be good.
It's 1:15.
ठीक है. We will just continue and we'll just let the architect and the lawyer have their lunches. We'll set them up for lunch and I'll just get back and we can discuss things further.
Points and 2 ground sections.
Yeah.
Each of them, what have they understood?
they're going to take legal action. In our latest meeting, Mr. Kinsara also told us that all of you of the managing committee and redevelopment committee, you are going to be sued individually. And you will have to pay some fines and all that. And he says you can't pay from society, it will be from your pocket. So these threats are foolish. They're empty threats and they're also foolish. Because who is threatening us? Our own chairman. Our own chairman. It is an internal threat. So what is our chairman threatening us for? That is what we are all wondering. What could be the reasons for these threats?
What is appointed? Let us say,
no, in the AGM it is limited that we have
only up to
body can also remove.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope that was
whatever.
He has not given a letter to him with his signature without our.
We hope. We have asked him to issue such a letter and he has said no. Right?
Then no, right now also you can say that till today there was no letter or our report. In future, if he tries to produce any letter, will not be valid, and we don't have any confidence in that chairman.
Particularly,
what you saying is this minute now.
Like I have seen some companies putting notices in the paper that this person is no longer working for our company.
Not at all.
So since he says, what if he has issued a letter? So
But still, nothing can prevent anyone going to the court and filing a problem.
Anyway, see, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If we start getting frightened of what if, it will not end up. So at the moment, there is no contract. I don't think he would do such a thing. You know, signing a contract with a third party without our knowledge, he wouldn't do.
But since today is our body,
right.
So we just minute it.
Yeah.
Now we are aware that there's nothing more significant.
Take opinions on the chart from the Zoom people.
Yeah.
There is no contract. What both of them are claiming is that in the previous AGM, the general body had outside.
Can you just read out that previous clause?
Yes. No. Can you take out that clause which I sent you those photographs of that last AGM? It is very vague.
No, I can't. I can't take it.
It is not specific. It is very vague and it says that we will continue with Shikara and it is not a contract. So if it is something we discussed,
Normally,
if it is something, it is something internal to our society. And AGM is of our members. It's like a family having a talk in the house. So this has nothing to do with a third party. So since if we have spoken such a thing, I feel that these minutes have been written like this. No. But if it has been minuted even however vague it is, then this general body can always say that we want to change our minds and we don't want to. Right. And we are questioning what is the integrity of a party who says I'm willing to pay monthly so much to the chairman of RDC. What is the integrity of this party? And what is the integrity of the people who are promoting that party? This is the point we are trying to make here today. We are not discussing details of how many bedrooms you'll have or which garden it will be. That is not the point of today.
So you already paid the appointment. I think now if you have more members for the
if you can face the Zoom people also. Everyone can unmute themselves if they wish to.
The general body today, after having heard whatever has happened, do we succumb to such vague and empty threats?
The question is, do we now do away with the previous things and move ahead with new as of today?
So we have introduced
we don't
to
do
you
away with the initial PMC. We take on additional help.
No. What she means.
No, we take additional help. But we use the facility or whatever his services till the time we want to. We are not obligated to do it any longer after that.
We have a contract which is 35,000, which is up to selection.
No,
we are not breaking that contract. 1 minute, Manjari. We are going to continue him because he's just existing. He's not talking to us. He's not phoning us. He's not responding to Pankaj.
If AGM agrees.
Why?
We don't want to terminate.
So you want to get into litigation, which is not
taken the advice.
This will get
not taken lightly. And with the advice of the lawyer, we don't want to get any litigation. We are going to violate any making a difference to 35,000. And also, when we select the existing, he is not interfering with us in any way. He is not responding. I don't want to say the word. He has good as
no. Why?
How can he?
And today I go to one doctor, tomorrow I go to another doctor for a second opinion.
No, the contract.
There is no contract signed as such because decided in the agent, which got minuted.
No.
There is nothing in the contract to that effect.
How is it objection to that? No,
there is nothing in the contract to that effect.
See, can I prevent you from going to a lawyer if you have a problem with your house? Can I prevent you? If you want to go to the eye doctor tomorrow, can I prevent you? It is like that.
No. That's why we don't. Precisely, that is why we don't get into it.
An appendix.
That is not my preference. So we are only concerned with legal aspect. The contract that we have legal order and future contracts with this gentleman, we are not going to make. So we want this general body.
What are the general body?
Yeah. And we have today introduced Pranay, who is an architect and who is very organized and who has come and met us 3-4 times before. And he has given us an excellent view of how development process should actually be. And now we have really understood. With somebody sitting at the table and having tea and snacks, I have never understood what redevelopment really was. He's good.
The question is, how much are these going to cost us now?
Very little. It's a drop in the sea compared to what our friend was going to charge us.
No, let me on the charges front. See, there are he would be charging us somewhere of about 2.5 to 3 lakhs in all for the entire this thing. Yeah, there will be stages and which includes taxes. Then there are certain legal things which need to be taken into account, where again we need to spend certain amounts and the demarcation thing. So money wise, we are looking at an on the whole demarcation, legal thing.
Yeah, for individual tasks, he will charge.
So all these things included comprehensively, I see the expense ticket size to be about 10 to 12 lakh of rupees. And before we select the developer, yes. But what I also feel is most of the developers have always, when we have spoken to them, that the name is not there on the property card and there are certain legal things that need to be clarified from our end. All of them have said we are okay to spend money for that so we can get it reimbursed if at all need, right? So this generally would be the spread, to my understanding, about 10 to 12 lakhs. And we also want the general body to be committing the redevelopment committee and the managing committee to
initially the society will have to shut off that money, or they will give you.
Absolutely. Nobody is going to give you a after we select the developer, we tell him that these are the expenses we have incurred and we have to reimburse us if we decide on that.
Coming to these people's money,
yeah,
we'll have to keep society.
Yes. That is why we need to have the money in our pocket.
That means the members will have to contribute. that effect or
no? I mean, it goes from our funds.
We can pay from our fund.
Yes, it will go from the society's fund.
It goes from the society's fund and goes back to the fund. Get it from.
Absolutely, if we get it reimbursed. I mean, if after having so many crores of benefit accruing to us, if we still want to, we can always push.
Then I allocated 5 lakhs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some have. It's not about allocation. They are okay to spend up to so much amount.
But our original question was, what will be their fees in comparison with that was the original question. So the answer to that is very less compared to what these guys are going to charge.
No. When once we select, then again we'll need a PMC. We don't need.
Yes, we will. And that time we'll see once we have him on board, he'll let us know what the exact expenses are and what the fees would be and stuff like that. But initially for this particular aspect, he has given us a quote of about 2.5 to 3 lakh. Right. Okay. So the feasibility report he'll be doing whatever. Correct. And while we were discussing the fees with him in our earlier meetings, we also said that he suggested that subsequently, even after you enter into agreement with the developer, you still insist on having monthly or bi-monthly meetings with the developer to just check the progress, and he would be honoring that, and he would be also attending those meetings. In that fees is what he is. Yes. Whatever. Exactly. So he'll very much. Yes. We can
no, but whatever he is doing, he will give us in writing, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
This is the scope of work, and
absolutely
is expected to do this, and this is the amount that he will be paying.
Yeah, and we anyways once bitten have to be twice shy and get things in the proper. Yeah. We can. Yes. I'll request him. See, when can I? Yeah, exactly. When he is willing to do whatever it takes. Yes. Absolutely. He's give us and so we are नहीं करने पर क्या करें मतलब उसका इलाज क्या करें
as long as he said that I am agreeable to whatever is decided by in the SGBF.
Sir, my only this thing was let us say if we are at the stage, if we reach the stage of signing the MOU, where the chairman and secretary have to be signatories, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So if at that juncture he says no, I'm not signing, what do we do? Yeah.
Good idea.
No, that is fine. My the thing is, see, Mr. Kadiani, just as you know, for the last meeting that we held.
Committee also is an agent of the general body said they cannot block it.
What if he doesn't sign the document? Okay, it's not an idea the chairman sign. Okay. So that ends. That is the end of the story. Then it's like the president of India.
In any case, we check.
We can still Pankaj, as you said, we can deny because what we have experienced
and I feel these kind of people can just keep putting us in the view.
What is your alternative?
Yeah, precisely. I mean, that's why we have this today. So to get some wisdom from the.
So today we have all gathered over here, and we are most of the society, everybody. So do we have your approval that the redevelopment committee takes the decision and what you are required to be taken? Do you have, so we, yes, yes, only. You have your approval. We need somebody to propose, somebody to second, and somebody to accept. All of you raise your hands. That's it. Is it? Does anybody object? Let's put it this way. Anybody object?
There'll be a mail coming.
If there is noise here, they will not be able to hear.
Quite. We need the. Excuse me.
Excuse me. If there is noise in the room guys will not be able to hear.
I'm sure everyone has heard through what all has happened right now, and you all will be receiving a mail on the sort of minutes of this meeting, and also the resolutions that we are looking.
We have 3 specific issues which we want everybody's opinion on. So I don't know how many of you are still on Zoom or whether you can hear us clearly. So we will send you a mail with these 3 questions and you give us your vote on those. Okay, you can reply by email and say whatever you feel.
Yeah, you can opine through the mail itself,
yes,
which will be good enough for us.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thanks.
So there is a unanimous decision taken that the PMC is
yes.
PMC, appointment of the PMC and the duration and everything, and the architect, all that has been approved by all of you, all of us unanimously.
So everybody is approved. Does anyone have objection? That's easier to see. Does anyone have any objection to any of this, what we discussed?
So to appoint this architect and
yeah, and our stand on PMC. That we will continue that PMC only up to selection of developer, and after that we are not obliged to Sheetala for anything.
As contracted.
As contracted.
And we clear them.
whatever.
Yeah, we pay them and
as contracted.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, I am saying there has been no representation from Sheetala consultant. The representations have only come from internal sources, nothing from them. So as far as we are concerned, our contractual obligation is 35,000 plus tax, which we will
they have been doing that all through. So you have. I hope everyone on Zoom also has heard whatever has gone through, and the mail will be following subsequently.
Mr. Kalyani, I just want to ask you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Apke.
But you're saying that we should not go forward.
Yep.
Okay, but we have a chairman who's trying to scare our members and take the side of a third party for the payment purpose. How good a chairman is that? Do we want this chairman to continue?
Today, a lot of things have said we should not have said. Compared to you also. We are exposing ourselves to it.
No, but that is a fact. I'm telling the house.
Today, you and me are agreeing in front of 14 people.
No, no.
But the other day was a telephonic conversation. So how do you know that you don't want to get control? Please don't do this. And therefore, when we go into no competition, the burden will shift on us to do what we are saying. Please don't get
Right. I understand.
Don't go on that. Why agitate an issue? And what? I guess a single person, you all consciously believe, and you have the backing of the house, go ahead with a particular proposal in a particular fashion. What is our you're not taking unilateral measures. This is so
yeah.
You're not taking a full house.
No, definitely not taking it. Of course.
We are giving consent in principle.
Yeah.
What I said, I giving consent. I thought I was going to get 100%, but I'm not happy with 80%. Because only a consent in principle, we still have to put pen on paper when the final proposal comes. And therefore the majority
but then, Mr. Kalyani, I mean, I'm just playing this thing. If even that is met, someone else can come up and say, if I'm getting 100%, he'll say, no, I was looking for 125. So this can be endless, right?
Today, if we had some indication, higher indication of what offers that come, we would have been better guided. But we still would not. We can say that these four articles are narrowed down. If these are the four proposals that have come, these are the same on this thing, alternate accommodation, permanent accommodation, they are giving you X percentage. On capital account, they are giving you X and all.
So this is the time to talk about the next meeting. Next meeting we are going to have. We'll be having one more meeting where we will be, after we get those two builders boiled down, where we will present all the facts.
No, before, he's saying before that.
Yeah, that lunch fellow is reminding us. Oh, we send by email.
Yeah, we can send that by email.
We can send by email. Yeah, we'll send it by email.
Right. Yeah, so let us have someone propose. Someone to propose, someone to second. You propose, Mr. Shivam proposes.
Mr. Shivam.
No, he will be a consulting architect. Yes.
Propose.
And he would take us through the redevelopment process.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Yeah, that was one. Right on this. बाकी का तो हो गया है, बाकी का तो पूरा ना appointment हो गया. And what else?
Decision about BMC. I will elaborate afterwards.
The general body also authorizes us to take care of the expenses, which could be in the vicinity of 10 to 12 lakhs. Sir, demarcation abhi karana hai. Uske bagair he won't be able to do the feasibility. For the entire thing, his can be 2.5, 3 lakhs, whatever it comes to. And legal, it is 1 lakh plus, that is her fees, and whatever on a cost basis, whatever it takes.
So we will put that.
So I'm saying I cannot, because we don't know what kind of, but generally speaking, this is the expenditure.
No, this is
no, society. आज property card पे नाम लगवाना. Yeah. Right. So yeah, any shortcomings in IAN that holds for Thyssen also. We don't know whether the documents exist. If they exist, are they registered? If they're, I mean, has the stamp duty been paid? Yeah. So I mean, as of date, we don't know, and probably you also don't know what exactly the scenario is. So we all are eagerly waiting to know what exactly.
So if it's individual flats, the individual will pay.
Yeah,
for the society's property, that society will pay.
So I'm purely talking of the society's documentation. Individual will have to take care of that. That goes without saying. So on the whole, I perceive the architect to be charging us around 3 lakh of rupees. The legal expenses for getting all the society's documentation in place, getting all old document copies, making a presentation to the authorities, and getting our name included in the.
Excuse me. Let's have silence.
Government records.
Wait till you finish.
Yeah. So are we good? Okay. So that I guess should be in the vicinity of 3-4 lakh of rupees. And demarcation done subsequently when we approach a developer. Each and every developer is definitely going to ask for these documents. So we might as well keep that in process. So generally speaking, this would take about 6 months period, where while simultaneously the other things also will be in progress. So that would be another 2.5 lakhs or so. 2.5 to 3.
During the title of the society, in any event, we have to do it.
Yes, I mean, it's inevitable. We cannot help
whether we going for redevelopment
or not. And what else?
So I think we can give as much breakup as possible, but we will say whatever expenses necessary for getting the documentation in place. It's inevitable, no? We have to do it. And we are very stingy with spending money. Don't worry.
Anything else we need to? No, that's it. So, we are now everyone understands where
this is a new point, so please.
that I have been thinking of is, we don't know whether it's happening, it's not happening all these years. So should we, anybody of us who wishes to, get out of this with some benefit, should we be looking at a developer who or a buyer who's willing to buy all those people's apartments or properties who want to do away with their property, and should we look into that possibility? You should. No, see, let me tell you, not all of us are on board for that. So that is out. We are not looking at outright sale. Let me clarify. What we are looking at is,
like a hybrid.
Let's say, yeah, it will be more of a hybrid kind of a thing. Let us say 10, 15, 20 of us want to sell and move out, cut off the burden, and rest of them want to get into retail. So our people.
No builder can find you out before you have signed the agreement. Now, after the agreement, I am free to do what I like.
No. My thing is, anybody wants to do away with it now also. If the
value is only 100 rupees.
No, if the person, if that person is willing to offer you 150 in comparison, would you be? I mean, we are talking of a figure.
I mean, in that case, it's open to what Mr. Pranay said, that a bigger way I cannot hold in the property, and then we get stuck.
Oh, okay.
So that exit should be allowed only after we have shaken hands with the person.
Okay.
Please don't give it. That's correct.
Right, makes a huge sense. Absolutely. So even on those lines, please let me know. No. Why I'm bringing this up is we can inform the developers accordingly and try to get a developer who's okay with this. So I would like to have a consensus from people. Whoever wishes to, maybe you can individually send us a mail that you are okay to.
I think you privately talk to them. If you have already informed everybody.
Okay.
Don't put it on paper.
Okay.
And other new issues.
Okay.
Let everyone be on board for reader.
Right. Fair enough. Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. But I'm just voicing out whatever comes to my mind. You know what? Why I asked you this is when we are interacting with, let's say, any developer, I can just say that, are you willing? Are you open to? I have put that in that fashion. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So I can individually bring people.
So let's break for lunch before they clear out the lunch.
So now I guess this is all that was there for today. We should be getting back to you now. I hope all of you on Zoom are.
Were you able to hear?
We just confirm everyone else. You all could hear us, right? The architect is not going to get the documentation in order. The lawyer is going to get the documentation. The architect will be.
So we'll share the lawyer number.
We'll share both the numbers of both of them, the lawyer and the architect, and keep you posted.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So this is where we stand. This is all that we had to inform you. And
the lawyer has agreed to help individuals.
And the lawyer also has agreed to help individually, because I think a will need to be in place. A lot of individual documentation. So we'll get services under one roof, and she's of course each one will have to pay for his whatever services.
We'll talk one-on-one.
Yeah, afterwards. we can do that subsequent. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So thank you everyone, and thank you everyone here also
and
for
please keep
being
everything.
patient.
Whatever has happened today is within you and the society. Do not try and.
You said it on BBC and now you're saying